Anyone who's ever tried to learn a new language knows just how tough it is to make it stick, especially for kids, right? Well, today we're diving into a new e-learning program that thinks it has the answer. And its whole approach, it's about treating language not as a boring list of rules, but as a set of building blocks.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not just about memorizing words, it's about making them meaningful, making them useful. So how do we get past the old-school flashcards and drills to build something that actually lasts?
Well, one potential answer comes from a program called Essential English for Young Learners. And their entire philosophy is right there in the name. It's all about building a super strong foundation for the language, brick by brick, making sure every new thing you learn is sitting on something solid.
The goal here is really laser-focused. It's not about throwing a bunch of complicated grammar at these kids and hoping something sticks. Nope. It's about building up those core skills first. The thinking is, if you get that early proficiency, that early confidence, it just creates this awesome positive feedback loop for everything they're going to learn down the road.
Okay, so what are these building blocks we're talking about? Let's dive into the what of the program. The actual stuff these students are going to be learning.
You can see it's really the absolute essentials. We're talking about the basics, like the difference between one cat and a bunch of cats, singular and plural, or how to count to 20, how to say where stuff is, and even how to express simple things, like saying you can or can't do something, or that you like doing something.
I mean, look at a term like indefinite articles. Sounds kind of scary and academic, right? But the program breaks it down so simply. It's really just the difference between an apple, meaning any old apple, and the apple, a very specific one. By using a super clear example like that, a complicated rule suddenly becomes totally intuitive. And for a young kid, that clarity is, it's everything.
All right, so that's the what. We know what they're learning. But you could argue the how is even more important. And this is where things get really interesting. Because the program basically throws out a lot of the old school methods and shifts the focus from just memorizing to actually playing.
And you can see that shift in thinking right here. The old way, it was pretty passive, wasn't it? You just listen, you repeat, you memorize these abstract rules. But the new approach, it's all about active engagement. We're talking interactive games, strong visuals, stuff that makes those same rules feel real, something you can actually touch and understand.
So how do you actually do that? How do you make learning active? Well, the program has this awesome toolkit. It uses fun animations that grab your attention, interactive games that turn kids from just watchers into players, and even classroom demos to connect the words they're learning to the real world around them.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but I want to show you how it actually works in practice. So let's look at a case study from one of their lessons. It's about learning prepositions, words for location, but it's framed as a really fun game, finding a lost monkey.
See? Right from the jump, it's not a boring grammar lecture, it's a mission, it's an adventure. By framing it as a real-world problem, finding something you've lost, it gives the kid a reason to care. The why is baked right in from the very beginning.
And the structure of the lesson itself is it's so simple and smart. First, you introduce the keywords, right? In, on, under. Then you show what they mean with a simple animation, like a ball and a box. And finally, you turn it into a game to see if they got it. It's a perfect little loop.
And the game is just built around this one simple question: where is the monkey? And the monkey pops up on the box, or in the box, or next to it. So the kid isn't just sitting there listening. They're actively looking, thinking, and trying to answer. It's such a simple, but man, what a powerful way to make it stick. And get this, the learning doesn't even stop on the screen. The program actually encourages physical games to lock in these ideas. Think about a game like Simon Says. When a kid hears "put your hands on your head," and then they actually do it, that connects the word directly to an action. It's a proven technique, and it's an amazing way to cement that vocabulary.
Okay, so we've seen the what they learn and the how they learn it. But that brings us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why does any of this matter? What's the end game here?
And this is really the heart of it. The goal isn't to churn out little grammar robots who can just recite rules. It's about building real, genuine understanding so they can actually use the language. And maybe even more important than that, it's about building the confidence to just try, to make mistakes and not be afraid and to actually communicate with other people. So, by mixing this really clear instruction with fun, interactive play, this program presents a pretty compelling model for how to teach kids a new language. And it kind of leaves us with this big question, doesn't it? Is this combination of technology, smart teaching, and just play, is this the future of the classroom?
definitely gives you something to think about.